Am I live yet? I have a really awesome OFTD today. Check that out. Oh, yeah. It's sparkly. And we're going to do hair and makeup today. So I have a new idea. Anyway. So, breakfast it is. Anyway. I'm a little late today as far as, like, everything in life, you know? Who is it? So, bacon and eggs. My egg just fell. No outfit is complete without it. Just kidding. Hey.
What?
You good?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see. No. So, what's in social media? I absolutely hate doing dishes. I don't know how many times I have to say this in my lifetime. I don't know. What are some things that, like, in your dream house that you would absolutely need to have? Like, if you, let's just say, for example, like, if you won the lottery today and you had a chance to buy your dream house or build your dream house, what would you do? What are some things that you would put in it? Or, like, requirements? Like, I know on the stream that Sissy and I used to go and look at, like, mansions and stuff. And one of the requirements that I have for a house to be considered a mansion is it has to have a pool and it has to have a piano. Oh, yeah, and a really big staircase. Those are some requirements of my own that even when I'm broke as a joke, I don't have a penny in my pocket, but I'm looking at mansions and judging them. So, yeah, that's mine. Is it has to have a pool and it has to have a piano. The mansion is considered a mansion on, like, Zillow or I don't know, whatever other. I usually used to use, like, Zillow and stuff like that. Or, like, Google. Like, if you Google, like, most expensive house in whatever country you live in, it's really interesting to see, like, what they consider to be a mansion. Or even going by price listing, right? Like, if you Google or if you, like, say, for example, I'm not specifically saying Zillow, but this is the only one I can think of right now. If you did use Zillow, to adjust it based on, like, price, like, most expensive house first or whatever, and you look at them, you'd be like, what the hell? Half of these aren't even mansions. Like, sad excuse for a mansion. I want a mansion if I'm going to buy one. I want to have all that fancy shit in there. that's going to end up breaking and needing to be repaired because, that's millionaires' problems, right? So, then again, people throw stuff out now, so it doesn't really matter. Like, what do rich people do with their items, like, once they don't use them anymore? I know for us, we go to, like, Goodwill and donate shit. What do rich people donate to? Or do they just turn around and sell it? Because I know they gotta be changing that shit every season. Or less, now. I see these influencers and stuff like that all the time. They, like, all of a sudden, like, they'll show their house. Like, they'll be, like, one of those, like, people that's really famous for their face being on whatever, like, anywhere in the background, right? But then when they show you their house, it's, like, this, like, pristine mansion, basically. And it's like, wait a minute. I thought you were like me. So, you gotta figure out where you're at, right? Ouch. I don't know why that topic came up today. It was just, I don't know, I was thinking that. Like, what if, right? But that was smokehouse maple, by the way. Where's the pickle? Jeff loves spicy shit. Me, not so much. I'll eat spicy stuff. I'll try spicy stuff. But if my face is turning red and I can't feel my tongue, what's the point in even eating the damn thing? Sizzle is loud. Some green tomatoes out of my little garden there. Does anybody else eat tomatoes like this? Or is it just me? Because I like to pan fry them, like in some butter or some bacon grease. And like fried green tomatoes are usually sliced and then put into a batter. And then pan fried or like deep fried or whatever. But I like getting the little miniature tomatoes. And like pan frying them, like I said, with like a little bit of grease or something. A little bit of fat or whatever. And you just eat them like that. Like you would with like squash or, I don't know, any other vegetable that you would pan fry. Pretty much every one of them, right? But you can leave them. What in the world? Oh, that must have been dirt. I went to go pour these tomatoes in there and I didn't realize the container that I put the tomatoes in had dirt in it. So I must have missed it. So. But yeah, you can leave them whole or you could slice them. So I'm going to be cooking those with mine out. Baby, do you want some?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, he doesn't normally like to eat regular vegetables. Usually he'll eat them in like a powder form. But I did get him to eat some squash yesterday. Ha ha ha. I stuck it on him. It's like your parents sneaking vegetables into your food. He thought it was scrambled eggs and it was pan fried squash. His face was like one of those priceless moments of thinking it's one food and then eating it and it's another one. The kids used to prank me all the time. Fuckers. They used to put toothpaste in my fucking mint Oreos, little assholes. I love them. We don't do that anymore, really. But yeah, all 6 of the kids used to prank each other all the time. It was never a dull moment, that's for damn sure. Yeah, when you cut the green tomato, it looks like a regular one, but it's just, it looks kind of like a jalapeno. Big ass jalapeno or something with the seeds and stuff, but that's what it looks like when it's really tiny. Tomato, that's a tomato. I grew that in my garden from seeds that I had from like 3 fucking years ago. And I save the bacon grease. What I do is I'll put at the very base of my bacon grease, I'll put a little bit of honey at the base of it. So this way it's like, doesn't get bacteria and stuff in it. And then I'll put the bacon grease on top of that and I'll just let it harden like that. And so every time I get a scoop of it, I might get a little bit of honey in there, but like for the most part, it's going to keep it from getting any kind of like nasty shit in it. Thank you. I have a new shirt dress thing. We'll be doing OOTDs here in the morning routine. I'm late. It's all good. Not like there's any specific time for me to be on here, but try to at least keep it somewhat every day. I don't want to say a specific time. So once this like finishes cooking, because I like my bacon like kind of crispy. I'll leave mine in there a little bit longer. I like mine with like, as soon as you bite into it, it like disintegrates. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at on the bacon level. But finish cutting these two, and then I'll pan fry them. ASMR breakfast sounds, right? I just had a thought in my mind of the scene where Harley Quinn is having her breakfast made, and the dude's making her this egg, like the most glorious egg and cheese sandwich, right? And like she ends up dropping it, which is like completely heartbreaking. But then there's another scene where she is eating a bowl of cereal next to her hyena in her apartment, right? So my brain traveled to that, and then I was thinking, whatever happened to that hyena? Because they show the scene where her house, like her apartment complex, like blows up or they attack it or whatever, right? But they never show what happens to the hyena. So did I miss that? Like, I don't know. I just was thinking about that. Random thought. Oh, if you guys get to see the interview with Elon Musk the other day, or maybe I don't know when it was, but I just seen it this morning about talking about inhabiting other planets. Remember yesterday I was saying that he's like single-handedly inhabiting other planets. And he said it in the interview that it was required for our survival, for our species, right? I literally just said that yesterday in the stream. It was weird. For those of you who are not bacon eaters, I'm sorry. That you're not. I am going to keep that going for a second. I want to get it nice and hot. So when I put it in this pan, it'll be ready. Now, I would highly suggest to eat stuff as in its natural state as much as possible. It'll help your body heal. But, you know, society deep fries everything now, especially in the South. So, just whatever. Right? I wonder if there is some kind of alchemy that happens when you eat. I wonder if it affects your I know it affects your frequency, but I want to see. I wonder if there's a way to track that. Like, you know how like we have infrared cameras. There are cameras that track frequency, right? So I'm wondering, is there a study on what happens to our frequencies when we eat specific things? Like a test, in a sense. To be able to see, you know, how does it affect us? You know, pioneers back in the day, they didn't even have that as an option. They just, you know, if you eat it, you're lucky if you live or die. So, ready for the sizzle. And again, I'll end up, once I'm done pan frying these, then I'll end up putting that bacon grease in that pan. Oh, it would be good for me to turn it on, right? I'm sitting here thinking, oh, the pan's slowly warming up. Da-da-da. It's not warm yet. Why isn't it warm yet? In the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not hearing anything from this pan. What's going on here? Duh. So, anyway. These actually had a lot of double eggs in them. The Great Value Jumbo pink container. They had a lot of double yolks. Like I said, I keep my eggshells to put in the garden. The compost liquid gold that I have out there. Luckily, believe it or not, Jeff has a lot of worms in the ground here, so that helps. And so I was thinking about getting a worm tower of some kind. But the next thing that I definitely, and I didn't even think about this when I first started putting the seeds in, which is very much my fault. Oh, there's a double. When I was a kid, I always thought that was like a deformality, like an alien egg, because it had two of them in there. I didn't understand the concept of twins back then. So. I always thought there was something wrong with them. And for those of you that are in your mind screaming because I'm using metal inside of a Teflon pan, you're absolutely right. I'm getting ready to change that. Oh, definitely shouldn't have put it in the sink. Crap. Shouldn't be using Teflon again. My absolute favorite cooking set came from Better Homes and Gardens. This cooking set right here literally has the emblem BHG on it, but this entire set was probably about $200. But I promise you, it is like 1,000 times worth it. These pans have been through hell. I literally purposefully put them through hell. And they're amazing. Like, they have the insulated bottoms and stuff, and they have it to where their bolts are like reinforced at the base. I think it's a really good quality pan set. The other one, the pot that I have, to be honest with you, I threw it across the room one day. That motherfucker got dented, but it still works. So I will cook you the food that I hit you in the head with, right? Anyway. But yeah, these are the best ones that I've had. If you can find any pans that have that don't have any plastic on them, no Teflon, no handles, make sure that there's no accessory handle that is plastic, but any pan set that is completely metal is going to be your best friend. You can transfer them to the oven. You can bake cakes in them. Like, pretty much anything you think of, you can use them for. And I really like that ability to utilize that in a way that's beneficial for all of the recipes or whatever it is that I'm wanting to do. And keeping food warm. Like, if you don't have enough space on top of the stove and you want to keep a plate warm, but you have, no way to do that, you can actually just put that in there and it'll keep it warm for you. You can actually, if I really wanted to, honestly, I could have put the oven on and preheated it and put the bacon in that pan and put it in the oven and baked it for like 7 to 10 minutes, and it would have been baked and it would have been done while I'm making breakfast on the stove. So, I mean, if I wanted to, I don't have to use a cookie sheet. Another thing too, if you're the type of person that likes to use non-stick pans for crafts and stuff, for those of you who actually use, cooking utensils for crafts, this is also another really great option because you can wrap it in aluminum foil. And you could use this pan in the oven and use it for crafts, and you don't have to worry about cleanup, because if you use the aluminum foil or you use some kind of separator, like a silicone sheet or something like that, you can use these and still, I mean, even if you really wanted to really still cook with them, you could, but it keeps it to where you don't have to worry about, the cleanup of it. A lot of times when we do crafts with stuff, especially if it has like a wax base or a plastic base, you don't want it to like seep into whatever it is that you're going to use for food purposes. So when you're using crafts, yes, you do want to have separate utensils than your food usage. But not everybody has that option. So that way you guys can see, okay, well, this is another way of looking at it. You okay, baby?
Yeah.
Are you gonna come eat?
Yeah, you didn't say it was ready.
No, I was just asking if you were coming out here, if you weren't eating there.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. Dang it.
I was hoping to have these done already. Oh, you know what else I have? I've got peppers from the garden too that I can use. I'm so absolutely freaking disappointed in myself that I killed all that corn. I planted it with the sunflowers thinking that maybe they would grow good with them. And then they got sunburnt. They got sun scorched. Because remember, I took them out of a shady area and I put them in a sunny area, but then I forgot to keep freaking watering them. So, anyway. I like ranch mayonnaise. Jack does not. But, hey, you want mustard in it?
Nah,
You just want them regular?
yeah,
Can we put butter in it?
sure.
Okay. Hold on, made you some great home. Oh, I missed some. Dang it. I gotta stop using separate bowls to go out to the garden with. So I keep forgetting that I have these. And I grew a shit ton of cilantro, and I have no way to use it because I don't eat cilantro. I grew it so this way I could sell it, but timing wise is horrible. So I'm probably gonna have to dry it and then sell it as dried cilantro. Does anybody even buy dried cilantro? Does anybody even eat cilantro? The only thing I know it's good for is like something pretty to look at on a plate. The only downside to this shirt is the sequins pull on the material. That's the only bad part. But yeah, these are my peppers. And tomatoes. Little tiny ones. So I'm gonna put that in here too. They're not. They're spicy if you eat them like regular, but if you cook them, for some reason they get a little bit sweeter. I don't know why. It's weird. I'm gonna add these, and I know, like I said, I don't normally like spicy stuff, but these are not on a very high level of spiciness. It's not that I'm aware of. Maybe because they've been sitting in the fridge, they might be spicier now. I don't know. But I put the seeds and everything in here. Yeah, it doesn't smell that spicy. Basic white bitch spicy where the mayonnaise is too much, you know what I mean? Oh my god, it's spicy. It's like they're mini water. They look like mini watermelons. I don't know why. just waiting on the tomato to come. Hope you guys are having a good day today. On for women, the 40 Plus website that I was looking at was saying about having high proteins before working out and carbs after working out. I'm not very good at that because I'm a sugarholic. I end up adding sugar to everything. So, and unfortunately, the way that everything price-wise makes it difficult to start buying for quality rather than quantity, right? The way I see it is that if for some reason, which is a very high possibility, especially with the way the world is today, if for some reason there's not access for anything anymore, whether it's from lack of transportation or, inaccessibility, what are you going to do? And I was talking a lot about that the other day in the stream about refugees and stuff like that. You're going to start seeing a lot more of those everywhere, not just in other countries. So just try your best to remember to be kind to others as much as you can. And understand that there's certain boundaries that have to be met personally, but
You suck.
harder. I feel like that's pretty good. Background ASMR waterfall noises from Jeff. Do you want the green tomatoes, baby?
No, thank you.
Careful.
Oh, you unlucky. I'm gonna sit out here and do my legs for a little bit while I'm taking a breath. They help my knee up there.
You want like toast or something?
Did you spit on it?
Only once.
Thank you, babe.
So I'll let that cool. Come back to that. Breakfast of Champions. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh shit! I took this out. I never even used it. Baby, you want garlic on yours?
No, I'm fine, babe. Thanks.
It's the Italian in me. No, I'm just kidding. So there's that. I'm gonna come back to that later. Okay. Next, eat, and then hair makeup. Because we can. Okay, taking it with me. Oh, are you staying?
No,
Are you staying like that?
I was just gonna ask Terrence to do my legs.
Okay.
Is that okay? Never mind.
You want to throw some shorts on, real quick?
Yeah, those will work.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm just stepping out of the ring.
No, you're good. I'll go in here.
No, babe, you don't have to.
No, I'm gonna do my makeup anyway. Rada. My vanity is a mess right now. I have no room to put anything. Oh my lord. Okay. Challenge accepted. Move over, B cup. Alright. YOLO. Where was I at? Okay, so let's add some natural light in my disaster zone of a room right now, which has been my whole life. Okay. Alright, so I have this little mini mirror thing. So, my alternate personalities, right? And I use that mirror to finish light. Okay. So, I use this to use the natural light because my vanity is in a shaded area and I don't have a whole lot of light that would look natural or help me to be able to see better. So this way I can do my makeup or, make sure that everything is decent, that my skin suit looks appropriate, right? So, but yeah, that's a little rubber. But yeah, so that's what I use to finish once I'm done with the disaster zone of a vanity right now. So I cleaned off my side table, y'all, and then the next thing I know, it's not clean anymore. Wonder how that happened. Y'all ever experienced that? Jeff got me this super cute little art thing, the wall hanging, and the fucking cat knocked it over like the first day I brought it home and broke its foot. Don't know if there's spiritual meaning behind that, but there is. So, thought that was cute. It's got a lot of detail in it too. It's super cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to make my little seashell thing. Little seashell pillow. I thought that was super cute too. Alright, so see what I mean about lighting? Sucks. Okay. So here's my vanity drawer with not many makeup cases. I do have like more natural colors, but I also have neons. One of them's actually my daughter's that she left in with my stuff. And then this one I had gotten at Walmart or whatever. But one of the looks that I was gonna try
for Fashion Saturday, actually, but I ended up not doing it. They do this, like, star thing on their eyes, where they put the sticker on there first, and then they put the makeup over it. And I thought that was so cool, because, you know, I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, and jamming the holograms was the shit back in the day. Like, so face makeup was really prevalent then, and it seems very, very prevalent now with content creators. But every once in a while, like, I'll find a style or a design that I really like. Now, whether or not it looks good on me, I don't give a shit. I still try it anyway. So, like I said, one of them was a more 90s holographic type design. Kind of like, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I guess you can see it. The hologram that's in here, that's how our skin is. If you look at it in the sunlight, this is how our skin looks. That's how our frequency looks, right? Like, what you see is, it's an exterior. So, that's why certain times, like, that you look different and stuff. Like, certain colors, even if it's the same color or same outfit or whatever, if two or more people take the same picture of you, same angle or whatever, and it looks different, that's why. It's because we're like a multiverse of colors in our frequency and our soul, and that's what is being projected out into the universe. Our brain only recognizes what we perceive it to be, right? So our exterior world is only what we perceive it to be. So, each person has a certain amount of a specific color that they portray, right? So, a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, I'm a cool, or I'm a warm, or, you know, I'm a neutral, or whatever. It's because you're, whatever level of frequency you are, is that portrays that, right? That's why when you hear about people that look good in any color, that person is usually, like, super vibrant naturally, right? And so that's why I like holographic stuff, because it includes all colors, as well as gives space for, what's the word where it's like the opposite of color? The void of color. Like, because of the fact that there's so many colors involved in it, that it actually covers all bases, so that in itself is its own void, right? Because it's covering all of the colors. So in itself, all of the colors are none of the colors. Your eyes only actually see every other color but what you're looking at. And purple's not even a real color. I know whoever loves purple is probably like, oh, how dare she? Anyway. But yeah. So, purple's actually man-made. So, let's go with purple today. Fuck it. So I'm just going to go ahead and run with this. Like, I have the holographic sheet, too, for inspiration. I don't know why, like, holographic anything is so freaking cool to me. Like, if you look at diamonds, the only non-natural color in a diamond is red. So if you see red in a diamond, usually it's not real. It's man-made. I think that's the color. Yeah, I want to say it's red. Anyway. Yeah, I really like that. The holographic part of it. Like, everything that's holographic, it tingles in my brain, something that's like, it sounds like chimes. Like seashell chimes. Like that. It's like a static in your brain that ends up happening. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So, maybe I'm just crazy. Either way, it's all good. Alright, so what they did, and okay, for 40 plus, let me back up. I'm getting so excited about this. I have to moisturize first because I'm a crusty old dusty lady. So I am using this. 40 plus, 30 plus, 20 plus. So this is Crepe Corrector. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this totally the wrong way. Because that's not bacteria getting transferred into the bottle, is it? It's all good. Some bacteria is not bad. It's just when there's a lot of it. Okay. Crepey. And not the good kind either, not the thin pancakey. You know, although the fluffy, awesome deliciousness is awesome to eat. Not so awesome when it's on your skin. I already did this wrong, just letting you know. Usually it's toner, like wash, toner, serums, first thing in the morning, and at night it is the retinols. But I'm just running with it because I got too excited and I jumped ahead. But, you know, it's probably going to ruin the makeup look, but I don't give a shit. I'm just trying this for the first time. I just don't want my face to, like, absorb the makeup. Ever since I was a kid, I've always put lotion on before I put my makeup on. And then as I got older, I stopped doing that. Because I keep forgetting the certain steps before getting to your final destination, right? And there's those baby steps that are really, really important, okay? They seem stupid, they seem mundane, but they're really important. So, especially as you get older, SPF and moisturizer is always going to be your fucking bedside table and in your life, in your purse, in your everything. So, okay. I'm going to let that into my face because it won't take long. Anyway. My daughter got this for me, actually. My kids are so awesome. If y'all ever get to see them in real life, tell them I love them. Okay, so we're going to go with purple today. Baby!
What?
Pick a color!
Red.
I don't have red.
Okay. Green.
Purple and green?
God damn, that's gross. I don't know what you're doing, but don't say
I'm going to end up looking like the Joker. That's what we're doing. We're going with purple and green today. So, we're going Joker style, evidently. Too bad I don't have my eyeliner anymore. I don't have hardly any makeup, and all the makeup that I do have is probably from the late 90s. Probably gonna end up causing my blindness at some point. I don't know. Probably adding to the wrinkle effect. So, I have this thing too, which is super cool. And it's so nice. Oh, it's like taking a bra off after a long day. I don't know what it is about like cold stuff. Do y'all like cold stuff on your face? Oh no, I'm just messing around right now. No specific order. You know, chaos ensues creativity anyways. So I'm probably going to have to wash this off after because I just put cream corrector on. But, you know. I don't know why. It just feels really, really good. A little mini one for like, you know, those. What are those things called? Sagging eye bags. I'm going to be powdering my balls here in a minute. That's what they end up looking like when you get older. Just being honest. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that one's out. Damn, why do I even save it? Oh, I saved it because of the back. Hoarding. Gotta stop doing that. Alright, so I got a little tiny brush, right? We're going to try to make magic happen. Purple. I don't know if you can see that. Doing the whole influencer thing with the hands up. Hey. Product. So, okay. So what do I want to do first? I want this to really stand out. So I'm going to have to do something lighter under it, I would assume, based on art class, you know? I'm not good with makeup, can you tell? Alright, so I got this like contour little block thing that I use, but don't know how to, because I'm just like most women in my 40s trying to get on this whole makeup trend thing and have no clue what the fuck I'm doing. Probably making my skin way worse. But I have never really used like foundation my whole life. I'd never liked how it felt on my skin, like on this area of my skin. I can't stand that shit. I can feel it. I know it's there. It drives me crazy. This makeup case has lasted me. I actually shoved it in the back because I really don't need to be using it anymore. I think it's CoverGirl. I took the sticker off at some point. I don't know what kind of makeup this is, but this was the makeup that I used on my face as foundation my whole life. Like, this is the actual makeup case that I have been using since the 90s, and it probably is caustic at this point. Like, so yeah, that was my base makeup. So like, I would completely cover my face and my neck with this. It used to have like a round puff thing that you would just like, you know, pat your face or whatever. I guess you guys call it baking it now. But yeah, this is what I used the entirety of my life as my foundation. So I probably looked like a powder puff most of my life. Powder puff girl. This one right here, oh no, that's not it. The other one. I just found this one. It's an Avon product. I don't even know what color this is. Oh, it's Mocha. True Color Powder Eyeshadow. Mocha FX. Okay. So this is actually Pantone's color of the year. And kudos to your products, right? It's like a Motorola. You could break it and put it back together again, and it works just fine, right? Hello, flip phone. So, okay. So the baseline. Okay, what was I talking about? So I just found this one, and this one is the one that I actually do use for contour now. This mocha color. My legs are white as paper, so is the rest of my body. But like, for some reason, my from here up is like the most tan I've ever been in my life. But I guess we'll just run with it. I have this little lamp light thing, but I've left it on so long that the light's like useless. So as you can see, well, maybe you can't see it in this one. See all these little wrinkles? Those are years of wisdom of being in the sun and also being completely freaking blind. No, joking. But I really do have bad eyesight. Okay. So I put the moisturizer on. Another thing that I found out when I was younger is that if you put like chapstick, something sticky, as a base, you could put the powder on there and it would stay a lot longer. Now, mind you, because of the fact that I have so many wrinkles on my face, that's probably never going to work. You're going to get more of that wrinkle effect than anything else. So, which is fine, because I earned these fucking wrinkles. So I'm going to actually, the concept of the design of the thing is to put the stickers on your face, right? And then put the powder over it and then remove the stickers. So it keeps the shape, right? But I really want the shape to like stand out a bunch. So I'm going to be putting powder on first, but then I don't know if the stickers are going to hold as tightly as they would if I just went ahead and put them on directly on my skin right now, because of the fact that I have that lotion on there and it's already moisturized my skin, so it would stick better. You see what I'm saying? Like, the edges would be a lot more clean than if I just powdered it first. So I'm kind of wondering, should I do that or not? I'm going to go from the inside out. How about that? Just fuck it. Put it on there. So I'm putting a lighter shade on the first part. and we're just having fun, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's like when you're young and you first find out about makeup. It's like that experimental stage of, I'm going to try this. I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing. But we're going to create from it. And it doesn't matter what happens or how it looks because we're just having fun. And that's it. I've had this dark spot on my eye now for several years. And I noticed that my mother had had it. That it ended up turning into like a lump on her eye. Um, so I've been kind of monitoring pre-makeup to see how far is this dark shadow coming out from my eye, and does it have any kind of changes prior to putting makeup on. Something that you guys should always do is do a quick check of yourself, your skin, um, especially now where there's all these like diseases coming back up again, and you can get it from anywhere. So just do like a real quick check of your body first thing in the morning, before you start your day or right before you go to bed or whatever. So this way you can keep an eye on yourself. Health is our priority because it's the one thing that we ignore growing up. We think we're going to be young forever and we're going to be able to do everything forever. No. Everything you do when you're younger affects your body when you're older. So trying to maintain at least 1% of attention on that while you're still young is going to be beneficial for you in the long run. And I know a lot of us don't even think about long term. So, because we're so stuck in the instant, right? But you got to do something. Even like if it's just, drink an extra bottle of water today or some shit. You know what I mean? I say extra, and y'all are like, didn't even have any water today. What are you talking about? I haven't had a bottle of water in my lifetime. There's some people that just don't drink water. It's fine. Whatever. So, all right. So I just did that on the inside. All right. So I'm taking a sticker. Here goes 43 skin, right? So I'm going to try to get it kind of out a little further because I have that like eyelid that does that shit. Like I always have to go like that to do my makeup, and then when I go like that, it doesn't. You can't even tell I have fucking makeup on. So I have to put it like a little more up and out. But I want to make sure that it's recognizable as a star. Star power. Look at how my wrinkles just like. This is the hard part about trying to do this shit when you're older, y'all. Enjoy that young skin while you can, and please, for the love of God, take care of it, because you take care of it, it'll take care of you. Promise. And don't get me wrong, I understand that there's like all these surgeries and shit out there now that you can just do whatever, but I don't know about you, I ain't got that kind of money. Crooked. Hold on. Then again, my face is crooked, so. No, that was actually crooked. Hold on. Let's get a little more. Can't see shit. Help me out here, y'all. Now I feel like it needs to come out more. The more I move it, the less sticky it's going to be, so that's going to make me more mad when it doesn't fucking work right, because I took too long to do this shit. Alright, we're going to run with that. We're running with this. This is what we're running with. Try to get it as stuck as possible. Stuck! Alright, so purple it is. Purple and green. I guess I could do green on the top and purple on the bottom. How green is this green, though? Because we're going from light to dark. YOLO. Here we go. Never done this before in my life. When we were kids, we used to put fucking stickers on our face all the time. Oh my god. Please work. Oh wow, that is like really bright. You can't. I don't know if you can see it. Oh my gosh. Sometimes you have to go outside your comfort zone, and it's okay. Even if it doesn't look right, just do it. I am going out a little further than I normally do for my makeup too, because I want to get that full wrinkle effect. And I know y'all are laughing like, what the hell is she doing? Trust me, it's popular. Oh, no, I made it move. Fuck, okay. To go back another one. I want it to show the wrinkles. And y'all are like, how dare you? I want it to show the wrinkles. Yes, it's a freaking trend. Go check it out. 40 plus makeup. First, I want to get those started on. I'm coming in a little bit on the eye area to try to pull that more. I feel like that's not even bright enough. The lighting in here sucks. I need to get better lighting. Can't really see it on here. I can't tell if I can see it in real life. It's probably like super fucking bright and I don't even notice it. Alright, next. Ugh, stay. Green. I feel like I'm using this wrong. I feel like I need to add water. I think this is one of those kits that you have to add water to it. No, I don't think I have another green like that, do I? Oh, wait, here's one, but I don't know. Is it good? Good enough of a green? Is a green good enough for you? Oh, this is way powderier. Holy crap, okay. Wow. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. That was like, bam, in your face. Trying to get it in there. Because I don't want it on the actual, this part of my eyelid. I like that one to be, that area to be lighter. So, and I also don't want the color to go right in here. For me, personally, I like right here to be lighter and right here to be lighter. Oh, it's so fucking green. So I like put the color in the crease of the eye instead, which to me, since I have those eyelids that just make that shit disappear, that's why I do that. And then like I'll look in this mirror with my head down and I'll pull it from the corner, right? Tilt my head because I'm looking in the mirror this way, and I'll tilt my head and I'll pull that down into the corner area. Try to, because then when I'm looking regular, at least then it has that little bit of a swoop. Normally it's more of a natural color. This is very much me going outside my comfort zone, so I should say neutral color, not normal, because this is normal for a lot of people. So for me, normal. Like I said, I've been trying to go outside my comfort zone, trying to new things, different ways of doing the things that I did before. I hope those stars come out pretty good. This is giving like Labyrinth, okay? Yeah, that's what I have to do. I have to like shade my eyes. She darkened her eyes. My eyes are so weird. My skin is so weird. Okay. Awesome. That purple is really purpling today. I'm gonna do an accent of yellow. Like a very bright yellow or an orange in that crease area. Because evidently I want to look like a clown today. Joker montage. So gold to offset the purple and the green because gold goes good with just about anything. I want to get like real gold just so I can wear it for eyeshadow. Because real gold is super soft. But it's so luscious. Alright, so I have this eyeliner. I'm trying to find a little tiny pencil sharpener. I have this like ginormous pencil sharpener that I've been saving since 8th grade. It was actually on the back of a huge pencil that I got from a friend of mine from the Scholastic Fair. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Stacy Salnick. But yeah, I've been saving it ever since then. 8th grade. That's how long I've been saving that. I mean, the metal on it's completely rusted. You can tell. It's probably not safe for me to sharpen my eyeliner pencil with, but, you know, I got that 90s blood. I can survive anything, right? So, to a death grip. Stop, you poke your eye out. Oh, it's super soft too. Dang it. I didn't realize it was like that. It's like a gel pen. Crap. I had to reshape it. I wonder why it came out so smooth like that. This is the Color Workshop. So yeah, it's probably a Christmas gift that came a couple of years ago.
Wow.
What?
I was noticing the perp. I thought I gave you a black eye or something.
No. I'm trying a new style. And I hope it comes out.
Oh, what's it called? Bugaloo?
Ah, it worked! Look.
I'm looking. I'm expecting you to come out there when you're finished and probably shock me.
That's awesome. I love that. That is so cool. That is so awesome. I'm like amazed by the dumbest shit. Put the sticker back on. I wonder if I got like a bunch of different sized stickers. That looks so freaking cool. Put like my wrinkles can be like the streaks to the shooting star. OC character, y'all. Character creation time. I can't even see. I need glasses so bad, but I don't have insurance, and this shit's expensive. Oh, my tail. Ever since this last accident, I haven't been able to get up out of my seat easily at all. I think I really damaged my tailbone or like right around my tailbone area, and it's not getting better, it's getting worse. So unfortunately I might have to do a emergency room visit or urgent care or um, something of that manner, because most likely emergency room, unfortunately. 'Cause I can't, it won't stop. It's actually getting worse. I'm trying to deal with it. There's moments that I'm okay and I don't feel pain, but then there's a lot of times, like especially if I'm sitting at the desk for a long period of time, if I'm doing the streaming, if I'm sitting at like a restaurant, or if I'm sitting in the car for a long period of time and I go to get up, it's like the area around my tailbone radiating outwards. It won't let me move. It's almost like a muscle glitch that ends up happening, and it hurts so bad. That I literally have to lean all my weight like to one side or another or forward, and then wait a few seconds and like work my way up, because the pressure that builds in my tailbone area, it radiates out to the hips. And so when I try to maneuver myself in different and pivot in different ways, it's painful. Um, and it's not, like a hemorrhoid or anything like that. We actually had a car accident where we were hit from my side, and my was not capable of seeing this, so I kind of got jolted, and I didn't report it because when the accident happened, I didn't feel the pain. The pain didn't start until much later. Then I was kind of like nervous to report anything because of my previous accident. I didn't want it to seem like I'm just trying to, you know, have accidents and accidents and accidents. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I don't even want to ever have an accident. But unfortunately, that it was a minor one, but the long-term effect of it is still lingering. And it is my fault for not saying anything about it. I was kind of embarrassed a little bit, to be honest with you. But it's becoming an issue now, so I have to do something. And I know a lot of us, we do that. We postpone. This came out so good. Wow. We postpone taking care of ourselves. And it's a little ridiculous, because like I said, that taking care of yourself and being honest with yourself when you're not feeling good, or if you're feeling something's off in your body, or you start noticing changes, or you just don't quite know, not quite sure what's going on. We're always afraid to talk to somebody or get help or something, because we're afraid of how people are going to look at us, how they're going to perceive us. Are they going to talk shit about us to other people? Are they going to actually be there to try to help us? Is it going to end up being a problem because I said my truth? Because I spoke my truth? Am I going to get punished for speaking my truth? That's how a lot of people feel. That's why we're always afraid to go to therapy or ask a government agency for assistance, or talk to people in general about anything that's going on. So now, I'm not the type of person that wears eyelashes. I have, and they look awesome. I actually have a couple of photos of me wearing eyelashes. Like one of them is I had a black wig on with eyelashes, and for Halloween once. And they look really good. They aggravate me. So my eyes are sensitive anyways. Like here in a few seconds, my eyes are probably going to be tearing up if they're not already. Oh, they're already shiny. Never mind. Because of the fact that I just touched my water line. But anytime that any like liner is on my eye, a lot of times it'll irritate my eyes. So if you guys have any idea or reference for makeup for people who are hypersensitive, like if there's like a line that's specific for that, let me know. I would really love to have an eyeliner that is legit and doesn't fuck with my eyes. So I don't actually have a liner that's capable of being used. So I'm going to use this purple liner that I just used underneath my eye on the top to make the top line also. I'm trying not to cover too much of that gold because I really like the gold color on there. It pops the rest of the other colors that are on there. And plus I'm going to be putting mascara on also, and sometimes my natural lashes let some of that liner color to show the top line of the lid. So I try to let it shine in its own brilliance, so to speak, and accentuate my natural lashes by having a brighter color behind the black lash line. So I've been doing pretty well with CoverGirl overall. I feel like it's not a very expensive brand, but there's also ones out now that are a lot cheaper. But this one is the one I've been kind of working with. It's called Lash Blast Volume by CoverGirl. And I liked it because it had an orange bottle. I don't know, it was brightly colored. And I don't know why that was a shopping choice. Probably price point was really the bottom line on that one for me. Also for future reference. Should be more aware of product containment rather than like product ingredient list rather than pricing. But unfortunately I'm on a budget of 0, so whenever I do have a chance to buy makeup, because y'all like to hoard them anyway. I have to look at price point first, so. I don't know why, but I feel like maybe this was the way I was supposed to go to that one event. But that's okay. Okay, so there's that. I kind of want to outline it a little bit, but I feel like if I do, it's just going to make it more blurry or look bad or something. So I'm just going to leave it. I like it more of a, however it is. I feel like if I touch it, it's going to fuck it up. Just trying to blend out the edges here. Okay, now that we're done with makeup. Alright, again, this is literally the only contouring that I do for the existence of my life. It's just a little bit. I have, from me. Okay, there's that. From me constantly going like this all the time, it's like a nervous thing that I do. I have actually pushed my own hairline back. So, I don't know if you can see that. I've always had kind of like dips here, but this side, over time, right through here specifically, has worn back more than this other side. So, if you look directly at my face, you can see, like even if I was to take it from my nose going up to my eyebrows and then up, you would see that there is a larger gap on this side. It's not very noticeable at first, but I recognized it. So I started contouring specifically that area, making it a little bit darker. Also, whenever I would go to do my hair, I would purposefully dye my scalp, which is really bad. You shouldn't do that. So probably a portion of like my hair loss is from me fucking with my skin and scalp. I also have like a widow's peak kind of crease right here. And then, like, I already have a pretty good definition for a cheekbone on the side when you look. This is why I always take my pictures like this. It's my best angle. So as you can see, I have this like definition of brow line and cheekbone right here. This is 40 plus right here, this little whatever. And then the extra weight. So I've always hated my chin. It has these little, and then I have this little, and it's shiny as fuck, and I hate it. Anyway, so that's another spot that I kind of make more matte, or try to follow the light line directly here. So this way, this area can be dimmed out. I actually bring my contour up a little bit more in this area to kind of minimize that. But yeah, I mean, this you get once you start getting older. These little like under eye bags and this section right here where your face starts to sag. You know, when you're younger and you do that to your face, you're pulling muscle, ligaments, everything. So don't do that. So I remember when they said to you that if you keep doing that, it'll get stuck like that. It doesn't help. Okay, it's not gonna be to that extremity, but they were giving you advice. So yeah, don't mess with your face, especially when it comes to something like muscles and stuff. But I only pull to the ear line, right? Because see right here, you have your ear line, and then I come down only to here. Like right where your eye line meets the ear line, that little triangle space. That's what I do. Now, granted, it probably looks like shit. I have no idea. But that's what I do. Plus, I go down the ear line, jawline, neck, across, and I kind of cut it a little higher. So, because you can actually see where my real jaw is, not where my neck fat is. So, I try to go with the lines of the bone and muscle structure. Pulling this down, going behind it, pulling it behind here shows this muscle structure right in here that I'm trying to accentuate a little bit more attention to, as well as specifically in this area. So I'm defining my neckline going down into the top of my chest area. See, ear, halfway. Only that. That's it. Then I go down. Sometimes you can go a little behind to give some accentuation to, you know, if you want an ear line accentuation. And then I come behind where the hairline, for me, the hairline comes down more for me in the back. I have that little like vampire fucking fang missing patch of hair back there. So I follow the hairline down and pull it forward. So it pulls this muscle right here that's in your neck, it accentuates it a little bit more, and it gives you like this slimming kind of, especially if you have a double chin, which I have several. So I try to give that darker right in here, cutting across that fat line, right up into the ear, down, pulling forward, and here. Leaving this area bright, but directly underneath the chin area a little darker. So as you can see, it gives this like, it's almost like a slimming thing that happens with the tone of the makeup. Now don't get me wrong, you can have as much makeup as you want right here. You could do all the contouring and all that other shit right here if you want to. But it's going to show in your other areas of your body. Like, for example, I can do all of this makeup right here, but my legs are still fucking white as paper. So I actually got to the point where I started contouring my entire body. And I know that sounds kind of weird. But like my legs, I have very muscular legs. So I started to accentuate that whenever I was wearing skirts. And I would use contouring on my legs around the muscle areas that are already shaded. So it would add a little bit of color because my legs are so white, unless I wore stockings or like did like a fake tan or actually started tanning. My legs are going to still be a lot lighter than my face. So adding that contour and then rubbing that all over kind of gave it a little bit more of a definition as far as color evenness when I was wearing, when I was wearing shorts, or which is like a rarity, but or skirts or something like that. So even under stockings, you can do this. So if you're the type of person that wears nude color stockings, say to work or whatever, you can actually contour your legs before putting the stockings on, and then it'll just make your legs look fucking awesome. So it also helps with cellulite. 40 plus members, I know that for a fact that cellulite is an issue for some of us. So having the tights on will help hold that in and be able to smooth out your skin or give it a smoother appearance. So there's that. So yeah. And then sometimes I'll just go through and use my hands, of course, because, I'm a broke bitch. And I don't know why, but like it just seems more natural when you use your hands. Again, 90s thing. Probably not safe and sanitary. Best to do without wearing white first. I didn't realize that, and which I made a major mistake on my behalf, but because I probably will never get that out. For some reason, makeup washes off, but it doesn't come out of clothes for some fucking reason. So, yeah, I'll usually just run my hand over it and like smooth it out some. And it looks a little bit more kind of natural. I know I'm saying natural, but I have red and purple and green makeup on. So, all right. So I've done all of this in a darker area of my room where I really can't see. I don't really have good lighting. I do have a mirror here that's kind of reflecting a little bit of light back to me, but I'll be honest with you, it's just as dark as it is in this stream. So even if I go like that, you can kind of see the design, but I'm going to go ahead and go in front of the light so I can see where I need to blend, because, and then a lot of times this is the reason why people who are older, their makeup looks the way that it does. Legitimately, A, they don't have the right lighting in their house, and B, they can't see. So you can't get that definitive line. Your skin starts to change as you get older. So your process before doing makeup is going to be more extensive. And then also, things that used to look good on you when you were younger, they may not look good on you anymore now that you're older. So just be aware of that. Your skin is going to be like your number one thing that you have to take care of for the rest of your life. So, I mean, start now. Right? I always give great advice, but I never fucking take it. Oh, I still haven't even ate breakfast yet. And I already went time to make all that shit. I didn't even fucking eat because I was so excited about doing this makeup. Okay, so here's what it looks like in the light. Not terrible, actually. You really see the, I don't know if you could see it in the screen, but you can see the gold. I probably should have put some gold inside that star area. That would have been cool. I don't know. I like it. And it shows off all the wrinkles. Like, this side actually got more of the wrinkles than the other one did. Okay. Yeah. Good enough, right? You do something on my teeth. Lord. Okay. Didn't even eat yet. Next. Oof. Okay. I'll come back to you later. I need to dye my hair again. My roots are showing. It's okay, I guess, right? I can't see because there's a reflection. I can't see it. Damn it. Baby! Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, sit back.
Wait! Come here.
You miss her.
What do you think?
It looks great.
You need to look! Look.
Okay. You're welcome. Yep.
No, for real though, do you like it? Who's watching?
They're running.
Weird. Anyway.
They're not doing that. They got clothes on.
Uh-huh. Was it a horror movie?
Yeah.
Oh. Suburbia? Okay. So yeah. Next is horror. I'm so excited and glad that this came out the way it did. It looks so awesome. How did I do this last time? Oh, no. That ain't gonna work. How did I do this? Oh my gosh, this thing is definitely gonna fall. Damn it. No. Shit. Stay. Oh, what did I get the history?
Well, I think that it makes you appear older. You were looking at your eyes, right?
Yeah, look, there's a scar on it though.
Okay, but I was just telling you what would give you I said it makes you look older.
Older?
In my opinion.
Well, I accentuated my wrinkles, so
Okay,
I think that was kind of the point. Thank you.
yeah. I know you're gonna put clothes in the
No, not tonight. I'll wait. Yeah, usually whenever women, or anyone really, puts liner on the entirety of the eye line, it does make you look a lot older. So. Plus, I'm 43. Alright, now let's bring the chicken. Alright. Volume, right? In my mind, that looks like the right side. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about this shirt. It keeps getting caught on itself. I don't like that. take my eyebrows. Good. Just leave it that way.
What's up? You trying to show makeup on your streamline or what?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes. I have hair on my
Oh, you
neck.
got something about the- No, I just saying you was on there talking and everything, and they said you got makeup. I didn't ask you what my opinion was, now you're there doing that.
Yeah, I'm doing hair
So I
and
was
makeup
just
right
saying,
now.
are you streaming in the bathroom?
Yeah.
What was that got to do with education, though, with your hair? I always thought you were supposed to refer to where the book outline says for the.
No. That's my book. I created that book. There's no specifics. I have that as a baseline, but I can do anything. Yeah, there's no requirements as far as what I'm supposed to do as far as streaming. I can do anything as long as it stays within a certain guideline as far as the company. The company has their own specific set of rules.
Hey, I was going to tell you something, but I didn't know if you were video and audio right now. That's what I was.
The audio is audio is on right now.
Okay, I was going to tell you something.
Oh, hold on.
I mean, I was just being careful.
No, you're good.
I was checking out. You're going backwards. Being while I look younger, that you're doing things that make you look older. I was just wondering. Oh, you want to hear what I'm saying? No, see, there's see these movies right here. I was trying to see if we could find something to watch together, and I was like, but this is on TV, so it doesn't show no naked, no saying. But they have themes where it gives you fantasy concepts. I think I don't know. See, that's what I was checking out. So, they get an Android. There's one about they hire an Android. I guess she gets over familiar with the Android as well. Oh yeah, I was just curious. I was curious. I just started. It was like I was just seeing what they offered as far as the thing right.
So this is on Tubi?
Yeah, this is all too. This is.
That was what I was thinking about that the other day. It's like we were watching movies from like the 70s and stuff, and the X-rated and like R-rated stuff was so available then. And now, I actually got shocked when you showed me some of these movies that are on like everyday TV now, and like I got shocked when I started watching cartoons with kids like last year as to how much sex is in everything.
Yeah, well, this don't show. It's not supposed to show this.
I mean, I'm not against sex. No. I just feel like there's certain boundaries that need to be.
I don't like to see the sex part because I'd rather just keep.
No, I'm not against it. I just feel like there are certain the ratings and stuff should be a certain way, but.
Okay, all I'm saying is I was looking for R rated, but this ain't R rated. It's MGTV or something like that.
Oh, I don't know the ratings.
That means, anyways. Look, right here.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it don't show the.
Yeah.
Just the visual that.
That's how most of TV is today. Like, even in everyday streaming, that's what you'll see in everyday streaming. Like in series, like TV series now, that's what they show. So, it's not uncommon now, and it's kind of weird. Like y'all know that I've been in certain industries and that I'm
I can't really say much against it other than from my own previous experience. But the fact that there's so much everywhere and it doesn't matter who, when, where, how, that kind of bothers me. Like, there needs to be a little bit more boundaries still in place for some of that accessibility. So. And unfortunately, now it's in cartoons, it's in everything. Hell, in most of the video game play today, most of the video games have like prostitutes or pimps or some kind of theme behind that. Or games that like are just made, some things made a lot more aware of at a younger age. And maybe that's, I don't know if that's good or bad because of the fact of I'm all for awareness, right, for safety purposes, but like, I don't know, just there's some movies that I watch that I get like a cringe from. And I don't know why, because I've been in industries and I've been in situations and scenarios in the past that y'all know about. And so for me, it's kind of like contradictory in my mind of, okay, well, I'm freaked out by this, but I lived it. Like, what? Maybe now I'm healing? Who knows? Or maybe I'm getting triggered by it because of the fact that I've lived it. I don't know. But there are some movies that, like, from, if you go back and watch movies from, like, the 60s and 70s, like, there was no blocking certain types of scenarios in those movies. And I don't know if they do now as much. But, yeah, if you go back, man, that's a shocker when you go to watch a movie. Like, how much has changed in such a short amount of time, the rules and laws and regulations of what's allowed to happen and what's not allowed to happen. I mean, hell, even in North Carolina, for a fact, I know this, is a law, is that any other position besides missionary is illegal. Fucking come arrest my ass then, because, sorry. Variety is the spice of life. Stupid. One spot on this shirt is legit, like, consistently getting stuck to the sequence. So I'm trying to avoid that arm motion, but that's not gonna happen. You have to keep moving iron, because if not, you're going to burn off your hair. And I keep that shit on high, because I don't want hair, right? Here we go. 90s approved.
What did you say?
I said 90s approved. Fluffy hair.
Mm-hmm.
What's on your chest?
I'm not ready.
Do you want the curtains open?
They don't. Is it nice blue sky money for us?
I don't know. Looks like it's blazing hot out there. That's awesome. I really like this. I might actually try it in like a more natural color too, just to see if it shows up just as good. I actually kind of like this gold and green together. It would look really cool for like a butterfly design too. Oh, and it makes the blue come out. That's awesome. You can see it pretty well. And like I said, all I used was those little sticker things. So awesome sauce. OOT. Unplug the hot iron because you can burn calories over we don't. So on that note, I'm gonna eat my breakfast. My little scrunchie back on the thingy. Now my breakfast is ice cold because I'm a pro freaking procrastinator and I wait till the last minute to do everything. So there is 2 hours of me getting ready in the morning. From making breakfast to getting ready and doing my hair. 2 hours of my life right there. So I didn't even put lipstick on. I feel like it's enough of a face look for me not to have to use lipstick, but if I wanted to go a little bit more bold than I already am, I probably could do like make my own lipstick color with eyeshadow and lip gloss. Maybe like a lip oil mixture, because if you think about it, that's how they make paint. They use the minerals mixed with an oil base and some other things, and that's how they make paint, like gouache. So there's no different between that and your eyeshadow. Maybe use like a like I said, like a chapstick that's like not flavored, or maybe you can make it flavored too. And then the powder, and maybe like a lip oil, just a very little bit of the liquids compared to the powder. And then just like kind of use a palette knife and mix your own makeup. Maybe that would work. I don't know. And maybe it's already being done right now. Who knows? But maybe I just brought attention to it for you. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. I need to go get that mail out there. Or wait, no, today's Sunday. Damn it. I know what I need to do. Jeff got me tomato steaks the other day. I'm gonna show him the steaks, baby. Update on the garden. Basil's coming in pretty damn good. Mint. I have this morning glory that's getting amazingly large. Carrots, mesclun. I ended up having to move some over because it was getting so big. It's kind of choking each other out there. Which I need to clip these. Mustard greens. Those are really peppery. Really peppery. But we did get steaks and we got them in the ground. These are, I think, 6-foot steaks. We put them about a foot in the ground. As you can tell, my tomatoes got huge. And there's a lot of them. I was not anticipating. All those ones in the back I did not plant. And then the radishes. Then that's some more mint. Okra, that is not doing very good at all. Shit. What's up, kitty? Rosemary is doing a lot better now. Since I transplanted it to a pot, this one's dying. Shit, I need to put that one in its own thing, and then I need to get this grass out of here real quick. Try to. One bad thing about these is that you don't want to damage the root system. And as I'm probably doing that right now. So there's that. Alright. Katie. Oh, this went to flower. Damn it, I didn't want it to do that. I'm trying to avoid this. Turnips. Tomato. I think that's a radish. That's radishes. That's either broccoli or cauliflower. Fennel. And then, see all the little squashes? I'm gonna move this actually. And then I have different types of squash down in here. For some reason it's clumping up but not producing. I wonder if it's like overcrowded maybe? Not getting enough pollinators? I don't know. I'm tempted to come out here and pollinate it, but damn stop. Kitty! Say hello to Zoe. Zoe! Hey girl! I don't know how old she is. She's like a year or so old. She was a stray. Oh no, shit. My cucumbers are gonna die. How many times I keep... Damn it. Why does it keep doing this? Shit. They're really gonna die if they keep getting damaged like that. I put this stick up here so this way... Damn it. And I've been trying to guide these. What is this one? I'm trying to guide these ones down here because this one actually has a cucumber growing on it. Yeah, it's like begging to be higher by picking up on the... There. Damn it. Yeah, it bent over my corn too. Shit. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, these corns survived. These, however, did not. Which is heartbreaking to me because I was looking forward to it actually working very well. But the sunflowers are really nice. It's something really nice, like especially when we're coming home and to see coming around the corner. I did notice though, which is kind of weird, they don't face the sun. Usually sunflowers face the sun. Am I wrong? I don't know, I feel like that's another reason why I planted sunflowers. Is so this way I could see what direction the sun was coming from. But they don't face the sun. Well, no? That's weird. I just realized that. I mean, is that a normal thing? I don't know. Anyway, so here's some more tomatoes. And like I said, I went ahead and started harvesting off of them because I know that these things are going to be blowing up with tomatoes here soon. And the pepper plants, for some reason, I don't know why, only certain ones got really big. I feel like these needed to have like a water blockage somewhere, like next to them, so this way they can get some of the water, because these last ones were the ones that got them. I have like a little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have a little waterway system around each one of the plants. And the ones that were over here, I had two sides. Somebody's not wanting me to say this, or not wanting to talk. There was two sides to this for the water to run through. So each one of these plants had like its own section of different water paths to go down through it. So this way, certain plants did get water, but it was a light touch. Other plants got water, but it was heavier. Like it sat there a little longer. Like these peppers, I made both of the sides like a dredged area, and the center area was higher. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this way the water can run next to it on both sides. One side was stopped off, whereas the back area where the water was coming through could continue through to the tomatoes. So this way it didn't just run past this area, it could actually stop a little bit. So I did some water working my way around from the roses. So what I do is when I'm watering them, a lot of times I'll hook the hose to the side of this and just let it run and let it seep this area as a river and come down the side here. And then once it gets down to the side here, it'll stop in this area in the front for the peppers. Then when I get to the back area and actually start watering the back area, I mean, it's a pretty large area. Once I start watering back here, the back end of it will collect the water and go down more towards the tomatoes and down into the other peppers. The only thing is that I don't have set up is with the sunflowers, I don't have a continuous water system with them. So I have to manually go over there and water them. Same thing with these tomatoes here. I don't know if you guys remember me doing the transplanting for the plant sale, but these little tomato plants right here are all the ones that I actually had dug up live on stream from over here and transplanted them because they were dying in the containers that I had. These were already here, so I started right here in the front of this log over here and I just went around. So that's all the transplants. I don't have anything growing in this area. The only thing that I did plant was some red okra, which didn't grow. So, and then my cilantro was booming, and then now that I cut the tops off, I don't know what's going on. And that is a whirligig tree, and so, and these are the roses that the neighbor gave me. Oh, I need to deadhead some of that. Let's get sun scorched too. Shit. I need to put something over here. I need to weed out from over here too. Get a little humble bumbles. Just in case if you forgot what it looks like outside. But yeah. Kitty's chilling. So, anyway, needless to say, that's what's going on in the yard today. Oh Lord, that concrete's hot.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, wait. I was trying to get it. I was trying to work it up.
You gotta grab a paper towel or something. Yeah. That is the garden. All this stuff that I was cooking this morning came out of the garden. So
That fly dropped a turd on it.
extra flavor. Today is Stationery Sunday.
Lift the lid up.
Hmm?
I have to lift the lid
Oh
up.
yeah, here.
I just
I'll just leave it there.
temporary.
Nothing better than cold eggs, right? Not my best reheating method, but I'll use it. I can feel the gamma rays going through my soul. What's over my coffee? Oh, that noise. Awful. There was one time that there was a sound coming from the TV and no one else fucking heard it, but it was going straight through my ears. And then I look over and Ange is having the same issue but nobody else heard it. And it was like so loud that we made him turn off the TV. I can't explain it. I don't know what happened that day. It just reminded me of that weird ass background noise. Do y'all ever like hear stuff that other people don't hear? Or experience stuff that other people don't experience, even though they're in the same room? Oh, I forgot to put mustard in this. I was like, what is that? I just gave myself a Jeff Squash moment.
These are most worth to do on.
Mm-hmm. And that's all for my ASMR mukbang. I'm just sitting here on stream eating, like nobody's even watching this, so or so I think. Now that my belly's full, I guess I better get down to brew. And that's the extent of my coffee intake for today. I see you. feel like somebody's watching me.
What?
I said, I always
Oh.
feel like.
Hey, that shirt looks good.
Thanks.
It goes with your cup that you saw at Walmart.
Unicorn
I saw you
rainbow.
left that thing. How much they want for their
Rainbow
cup?
unicorn cup.
Yeah, what do they want for it?
$8.
How much?
$8.
Oh, I think for $2.
Let there be light. It's the only D you need. Now you want kidding? Mabel. Meow. Pretty girl. So pretty with your green eyes. Chunk a chunk. Chunk a chunk a chunk. This is the softest cat, man. I'm telling you. Hello, pretty girl. You're so talkative today. Till I feed you. I was like, I already did. 12 times. Are you watching shows and stuff still, Tim?
Oh, there. I turned on TV.
Yeah, but I just didn't know if you were gonna go back to it or not.
No.
Okay.
I was just glancing to see what they asked or offered. Ain't nothing. They don't have nothing on there. I didn't see not one time anything. They would go. They didn't have shit in there. It's just funny. It looks like foreign PG-13 videos. It's just funny. I'm just looking at Intel computer information.
That's cool.
Yes. How long does 1 million last after 60?
That's a good question. I don't know.
It depends on your lifestyle. The guy that played JJ, they said he won a lawsuit because they didn't pay him any royalties for the ongoing Good Time TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
So he won. They said he was awarded like back in the 80s like $1 million, but he's got that already blown away. That's why he's doing stand-up comedy, make ends meet. So the question was, how long does 1 million last after? Like I said, it depends on your lifestyle. If they lived like us, it would suit us very well. No complaints. Don't tell anybody you got the money. Don't even flaunt it. Act like you don't have it. Close the curtains. Don't let anybody inventory your stock. Should I continue?
Mm-hmm.
You suck.
And slide it off the system. Unlatch and remove the front bezel from the system.
What are you watching?
I take computers apart. I'm the jail.
Find the hard drive assembly and disconnect the cables. Lift the assembly out of the system.
Yeah.
Identify the HDD and
Okay. Sorry, guys. I was just like looking through all this. Oh, that's the shirt. It's crunchy. I thought I was crunching something underneath the paper. It's my shirt. That's funny. Okay. Textures, y'all. Textures. It's awkward. Where was I going with this? I don't even remember. Sunday. There we go. Plan of action. Alright, so when you enter the kingdom, there are different requirements. So, going into week 26, Revelation is that, as it may be. So, OOTD is ads for sale items, and personal OOTD for sale items during switch out for seasons. Yesterday I was talking about, Fashion Saturday, I was talking about like the weights of the fashion industry on the world with trash. So things that you donate, they only have a certain amount of time that they're in that thrift store, especially if you're in a corporation like Goodwill or something like that. So if you donate something, from the time that it's donated, now there may be a crossover in the background that I'm not aware of because of business purposes, but as far as I'm to understand, that those items only last a season or two in the store. Then it gets transferred to bins, which are considered to be like the last chance bins. And so after that, it goes to the dumpster. The thing is, though, is the fashion industry is one of the heaviest components on top, as well as plastics, for landfill. When you have a chance to utilize your clothing that you already have existing in a way that's new, you reduce that chance also. But this is more like a worldwide effort that's not going to happen. Right now, everyone's in that instant gratification of, I'm going to buy online, wear it for like a day, and then either donate it or throw it out. So, I mean, I don't know how many pieces of clothing that I've thrown out over the years, not just from myself, but also from my kids, which, it adds to it. So, also what you wear affects your body, internally as well as externally, confidence-wise. They always say you never know how far a pair of shoes will take you. I think one of the movies called The Dressmaker, one of the girls says, "What's a dress going to change?" And it changed her whole life. So it's just a mindset. It's a mental state of mind that we utilize on a daily basis, vices outside of ourselves to pull in that feeling or that awareness of what we already have inside of us, which is we're beautiful. All of us are in our own way. Like I said, we're just frequency and colors. So at the very baseline of it all, there is no imperfection in you. Just in what you perceive to be imperfection in yourself. And what others tell you is not a direct reflection of self. It's actually a mirror of themselves. So when someone else is talking shit about you, whether to your face or to other people, it's a direct reflection of themselves. And I'm guilty for this as well. I talk shit about people. People talk shit about me. So it's a bad habit, and we all need to quit doing that because nobody is perfect. So, but yeah. All right. So today is a Make Content Day. Being more specific in each area is one of my personal goals. Like I said, I've been working in the book here lately and trying to build out further from my already original baseline of information, each section a little bit more, so this way I can get a little bit more in depth into what it is exactly that I'm wanting to achieve, even if it's just for myself. So so being more specific in each area of self and life will help you on that path. Finding new information outside of what you're used to, like for example, for those of you who have streamed or if you watched a stream before, a lot of times you're getting a horizontal stream that is like for a TV. Now with current technology and cell phones, a lot of times even when we're streaming from a horizontal screen, you miss a lot of like the behind the scenes stuff because your visual is vertical. So they've now implemented a vertical stream overlay for phones or apps like TikTok and YouTube, for example. So having a multi-way of viewing your stream or your content or whatever it is another option that you could look at. So this way you can actually get the whole picture inside of whatever it is, especially for those of you who are shop owners or online sellers where you have a lot of, or people who just have a lot of stuff in the background that you want to still show. You know, it's good to have that so this way you don't lose out on that. Also, if you have, like, for example, if you have a bookcase behind you that has items from your fans, you want to showcase them, right? So you don't want them to miss out on it if the bookcase is just right here, and in your regular everyday horizontal screen, it's showing it completely, but the vertical screen is not. So, you know, that is an option that you guys could look at to be able to pull everything in and for specific apps and purposes. I'll be honest with you, when I did the double layover in Streamlabs, that really messed with me because the overlay that I already had existing was not ready, and it was pre-vertical overlay. So the transfer over cut off half my screen. Like it only left like a quarter of the screen left, let's just say. So I had to alter it and finagle it a little bit. But then I got to thinking, well, once it actually goes to air live on your side, how are you going to perceive it? And it was all messed up. So I'm going to have to go back into Streamlabs, whatever the overlays are, and choose one that has multiple overlays. If you want to go in and search vertical overlays in your Streamlabs layouts, you guys can actually pick and choose different layout themes for all of your social media. I think they also have vertical layout in other apps, like I'm going to look in Canva and see if that's available for Canva as well. Because if it's in social media, it should already be in there. Because they're the number one used, in my understanding, they're the number one used app for layout creation. So I could be wrong, but most likely I am. But anyway, so yes, vertical stream overlay. Look into that. If you have to, just Google it. I'm sure other shit will come up. Going into the calendar, we did change around a lot of stuff in the calendar the other day. So I'll update you guys on that this next week, probably tomorrow, because I'll be talking about schedules tomorrow. Today is Sunday. So yeah, today is a Make Content Day. I did rearrange the social seller sites on the calendar, so be aware of that. Where's my book? Green book. Yeah, we've now altered new upcoming scheduling. Remember, we're being more specific, but I'm keeping the scheduling general, because once I get into the scheduling, even though the page is general, once I start filing in through each one of these categories, it'll be extremely filled in. I'm looking at this, and this is something that I've built, like I said, over the past 3 to 5 years. And it literally, if you follow it, it is a breakdown of, for the most part, and I'm not going to say that it's everything, but at least for me, it was a breakdown of all of the aspects that I wanted to pay attention to that my mind couldn't keep up with. As well as new ideas and concepts that I attached over a period of time and now has evolved. And so my evolution, I should say, is going to be something where it's very streamlined, and it's something that's easy to follow for not just myself, but for other people as well, because of the fact that I am building this out in real time behind the scenes to be for sale eventually. So this is going to be a planner that's going to be for sale, that will be Frankensteinable. So you'll be able to alter it however you need to, pick and choose what you want, take out what you don't need, leave that shit in the past where it belongs. With the editing tools in some of these apps, you can actually delete something and it'll save a previous copy, so you can go back and like re-up that shit. So, so yeah. Like I said, going into seller sites, you want to make sure that you're sharing your links, you're doing your review of your sales, you're adding items consistently, you're keeping up with the budget. Remember, we're keeping receipts from now to the end of the year, because once we get into the new year, we want to start looking business-wise legitimately. And promotion. Don't forget also your thank yous. Your thank yous are just as important as your promotion or your ads. And if you have to, make the same amount of promotions, make the same amount of ads for thank yous, and post them all along with your 24 posts in the day. And this is hourly. So in your social media marketing, whether it's Meta, which is free for now, but there are other social media multi-posting sites that you can look into. They are expensive. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. They're fucking expensive. It would be an investment if you were able to pull an income from what you're doing. As far as upfront costs, you're looking at somewhere between $80 to $150 a month. I try my best to keep it as free or cheap as possible, as much as possible, because of the fact that that's how you ground yourself. It also keeps you within a budget, and it doesn't give you that chance to have the extraordinary splurging moment where you regret it later. So keeping in mind your yearly, monthly payments or whatever in your budgeting, like the envelope system that we're working with on Tuesdays, is that that way you can keep it going. You can keep the roots growing, right? Same thing, when we're making ourselves available for next level promotion of some kind, you want to make as many eyes on you as possible, right? So the best way to do that is authentically push your information, your vibe out there, Intentionally, yes, but sometimes that spray and pray helps because you never know where an opportunity is going to come from. So keep your mind open to that option. No, it does not always work. Sometimes you waste years of your life trying to do the spray and pray thing. But if you have a clear intention subconsciously, no matter what, your path is going to work for you. If it does not work out, most likely it's not meant to. And some things are beyond our control. So just be aware of the positive and negative aspects of all of the things that you're involved in, as well as self. And it'll be able to help you pivot and move through all of this. So also don't forget wish lists, and keep adding more variety. Once you've got the baseline kind of down pat and you're able to move on and learn and kind of grow from there, because remember, we're always learning in the background. No matter what we're doing up front, we're constantly like a sponge absorbing information from all around of us at all times. So no matter what your focus or your project is, you're still learning in the background, and that's the point, right? You're going to continue pushing those neurological cells out and giving yourselves new neurological pathways to learn and give yourself more opportunities for, yes, positive and negative things to happen. I know it's all scary, and we all just want to go down the right path, and we want the best path, and we want to get to success as quickly as possible. But sometimes those baby steps are there for your protection, okay? When you take the time to learn from yourself, from your exterior, that next step forward will have more backing when you have both sides' point of view, right? So you have more power in pushing forward when there's more information, right? You know, I mean, that's most things. Like you have to learn more information about something for it to be successful. And sometimes, you know, you get that 1% where like all of a sudden, bam, now you're successful. But the problem is, yeah, you're successful, but you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. And now that's going to be completely visible because it's right there in your face. It's like the universe's test. Like, you say you're ready. Are you really ready? Are you ready? Are you ready already? So be ready before you need to be ready, right? That proactivity really does help in the long run when that time does come for whatever the situation is, even if it's in maintenance, you know, like even if it's in your budget, if it's in your personal health, you know, if you have like a certain routine that you have as a baseline, anything moving forward from that point, you'll be able to catch the weaknesses in it quicker if your core is self-centered. So each one of us carries a light of creativity in us. And no matter what you look like, what your body is like, your internal core center, soul, whatever you want to call it, subconscious, energy beam, whatever you want to call it, that never changes even after death. Like that energy, yes, it leaves your body, but it doesn't change in the universe. So now granted, we don't know where it goes after that, but my understanding is that you just go back to the collective of souls and spirits. And I feel like if what I experienced personally was anything like seeing heaven, then every time that you see a shooting star, it's a soul transitioning back to Earth. I want someone to go back and see if on the night of my wreck, if there was a shooting star. Interesting concept, at least, you know. Hell, even in what is it, The Lion King, all of our ancestors are gas balls in the sky. I don't think they're wrong. So every star that you see could possibly be, or maybe it's not the stars specifically. Maybe it's space. Maybe you just go back to being the molecule of light where your creation began. Because all things that are created must be destroyed, and all things that are destroyed must be created. There's an equal opposite in all things. So, I don't know, just a cool concept to think about. And as far as like expanding, think internationally, think interstellar. Like that's where we're going. So you have to think outside the box and go future forward, future thinking, right? Things that we thought were going to happen 30 years from now are happening right now. And so in that mindset, especially for those of us growing up, we have a certain level of understanding of what the dangers were for certain events to happen moving forward. And we had the time to prepare for it, and we didn't. And these things and events are happening now. So we're having an adjustment period, like you will as well. Any of you who are 18 to 40 at this point, or 43, any of you who have not experienced that adjustment point in the world and your awareness, you will at some point in your life. When that happens, think back to what elders have told you that they had to go through, okay? Or that they prepared themselves for. And not just your parents, I'm talking grandparents, people like 30 to 60 years older than you, okay? People who have lived through a good chunk of the events that have happened in the world. And a lot of times you can also really lean a little bit more towards people who are traveled. So people who have gone to other countries, experienced other languages or other cultures, you'll learn a lot from these people, as well as speaking to people who are younger than you. Don't forget that timeline includes both ends of that candle, and right now you're kind of in the middle there somewhere. So be aware of the information that's given to you by people who are older than you, as well as people that are younger than you. Take that information in the back of your mind and move forward with people your age, okay? Start asking questions of the people that are the same age as you, that are in different, industries or different aspects or different scenarios than you are, okay? Because the information that you're going to get from each and every single person, there may be some similarities, but for the most part, you're going to hear a lot of new stories, and you're going to be able to get that information to utilize it for your knowledge moving forward in different scenarios in your own personal life. Because remember, everything that is internal is external. You just haven't experienced it yet. Or maybe you did and others didn't. So it's just a time frame of who's getting hit with what information, who's getting hit with what kind of experiences. And like I said, as far as COVID, kind of like doing a total reset on the world where we're all on the same page. We all had a reset button in 2020 or 2019, 2020. We had a complete reset button happen. We continued life in a new way, right? For most of us, we ended up being isolated. For a lot of the rebellions, we didn't. So still went to work, was an essential worker that got hours cut and then finally fired because I didn't make fries right. Even though I've been making fries for I don't even know how long, longer than that person was ever working there. But we're not going to get into that. I ended up losing my house, got my fault. Anyway, so no, it was my fault. And that's another thing too. You have to say that no matter what happened in your life, it was your fault. Start saying that. And I know that you guys are going to be like, what the hell, Eve? Like, for real? The shit that happened in my life? Hell no, it ain't my fault. You're not ready yet. For those of you who understand where I'm coming from, this is a ego killer in the most exponential way. Okay? In a sense of realizing that the negative things that happened in your life were your fault. no matter what it was. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, what the hell? I know I just said that, but I'm thinking of like extreme scenarios, like scenarios that you never want to happen in your life or you don't wish on anybody else. Those scenarios, even though they're horrible, they're still our own fault because, and hear me out, because we still choose not to heal from them. To face it forward, head on, accept the accountability of self, forgive yourself, and then start your healing process. So when you say to me, or I say to myself, because I have triggers, I have insecurities, I have trauma from my past, I have events that have happened that I hope to God nobody ever has to experience. So I'm still in that healing process. And everybody is in that different healing process. They may have never even started yet, or they're in the process, or they're towards the end. You'll start to recognize these people by their behaviors and mannerisms towards you, at what level they're at. And your level is different than everybody else's, no matter if they've had the same exact path. Okay, you guys could be identical twins doing the same exact thing every day, and it doesn't matter because by the end of that year, you guys are still going to have done something completely different. Because your DNA is completely different. You're off by at least one, right? And because each one of us is individuals. We are one. This is the zero. We are the one. We are the creator. We are the light within ourselves to create. So, and we are energy. And we're frequency. That's how powerful we are. We are legitimately energy powerhouses. I just watched a video today of them using melanin as a power source for some kind of magnetic energy. Who would have known, right? So anything is possible, and I don't put anything past anybody. So keep in mind, like I said, that future forward expansion mindset. And the best way to do that is to start with a clean slate. So today's house chores is clean the office and take the trash out. Another one was gathering sale items. Jeff said that he was going to help me get some pictures up for you guys. So we'll see about that. I don't know how much stuff is actually on there already and how it's going to go. For Stationery Sunday, which is today, it's P.O. Box and Reply. I haven't been to the P.O. Box in 7 months. So it might be full at this point. I know it's full. I already know it's full. I'll probably be missing mail. But so if you have sent anything to me, I have no idea. PDF, we're continuing to work on that. Like I said, we're trying to get the paper copy done first, so this way I can build it into the calendar, and then I can create the PDF from that. Which I could just straight work in the calendar, but I'm old school. I like paper copies. So printing next schedule. I do this on Sundays because of the fact that weather changes so sporadically in North Carolina that this is just a baseline to get a kind of like an idea that there might be a chance of sunlight during the course of the day. So, it might snow, it might rain, it might become a fucking sauna every evening at 7 o'clock. I have no idea. It could be just cloudy and make it look like it's going to rain all day, and it never fucking does. Then everybody gets sunburnt and wonders how. So, so printing next schedule is today, which I was trying to get as much on the calendar part of it before I printed. So I'll be working in that today. And then transfer last week forward, which is part of, remember I said we're going to be building out this week's calendar from last week's calendar. This is how finite I'm getting within this scheduling thing for the PDF. Now, again, I am leaving the main part of it chunked for generalization, but as far as the internals go, there's going to be, it's a book. It's not a regular planner. Okay. This is for people who get very detailed in each area of what it is that they're doing. So this way you can keep a track of and keep accountability for yourself moving forward with each aspect of your life, not just one aspect or like a regular everyday planner. This is very in depth. And again, it's putting back into mind of the adjustments that we need for evolution to happen within our business or in our own personal lives, to be able to move forward to whatever goals or dreams that you have. And making it a solid foundation to move forward with that, basing it off of something like this is a great start. Not everybody works in this fashion, and that's understandable, and it's adjustable. Another thing that I was looking at was for those of you who are content creators, this is an idea that I'm going to go ahead and put out there. I don't know if it's already in existence. It most likely is, but a virtual buddy, where you get to share the entirety of your day with the people online, no matter who it is that's watching. And that way the person, a lot of times we have lurkers that never make a comment. They don't like your stuff. They don't even actually click on your video. They just watch it from the main page, so this way they don't get seen, right? A lot of our nowadays talent scouts will utilize that purpose, so this way they don't get caught looking for talent. So that way they can't backtrack it to a certain, whatever. So I know as far as, like I said, getting your face out there, getting your content out there, of your business or whatever aspect that you're looking for, maybe that's one way that you could do it too, is looking at the behind the scenes of your business. And again, holding on to that authenticity and the accountability is very hard to do, because most of us, when we run a business, there's a perspective of it that's not shown to society. Even celebrities will not show behind the scenes stuff, which is fine. Totally understandable. Everybody deserves their privacy. But another thing is the aspect that there is no more privacy, because we're constantly being watched at all times, and have been since the late 70s, early 80s, by satellites, as well as now, since the technology era has kind of boomed all over the world, as well as internet. The eyes are in every corner, so to speak, So fly on the wall kind of aspect of now everything is being watched from all angles. And whether we're aware of it or not, the truth of it is that it's available there, accessible for hacking. And it's constant. We don't, a lot of us tape our cameras, and they, use different, maneuvers, or maybe there's a camera that has like a slide thing. I know just webcam does. But, most of our life is already either recorded anyways, whether by satellite, local, ground view, or by our own doing, right? Because a lot of us are content creators. So when you're thinking of life in general, for the most part, you're being recorded at all times anyways. You just may not be consciously aware of it. So that was an idea that I had for those of you who are 24-hour streamers. It's a concept, especially for those of you who have a difficulty being alone. I know for myself, it was really hard for me to be away from my kids at first. I spent most of my days in bed, rotting, crying. Especially that first month that I was away from them, that was the hardest. You'll go through different aspects. So I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, sometimes I just say things that like is on my mind. I don't really have a filter.
Yard candy cat.
But yeah, I started streaming more when I was alone. But yeah, that was about the time when I started actually. I think that was about the time I joined Twitch. Was the first month that I was alone without kids. I definitely started most of my social media around about that time. Like I already had like Facebook and stuff like that and MySpace, which you won't be able to find my MySpace anymore. At least not in the pictures because they're all gone. That's 5 years of my kids' lives gone. 'Cause I'm a dumbass and didn't paper copy that shit. But and maybe you can make that as part of like your calendar too, is like maybe once a month you'll pick through the photos that you took that month and pick like maybe your 5 favorite and print them out, so that way you have a paper copy of something. Because I'll be honest with you, as many computer systems that I've had over the years that have got hit by lightning, either through the cable line or like an Ethernet line or something having to do with like a cord or a power cord that wasn't on a surge protector, but then we also had one that was on a surge protector and then lightning went through the surge protector and still got the TV. So like, you know what I mean? Like you end up losing information along the way. And having a paper copy, even if it's just a small photo album, you know, it really does help, as well as having like one of those SD card things, or like a zip file thing that you put in the side. I forget what they're called, baby. What is that called that you plug in the side? USB.
No, let's see. A file drive?
Yeah, like a file drive. I always tell people, like, try to get like an SD card for your phone. For those of you who are on Apple, I don't know what to tell you. You could try some cloud service or something. For Android users, you still have access for SD cards for most phones. As well as there are some attachments that maybe like Amazon, use my link, maybe on Amazon or some other kind of seller site that they have it where you can have an external drive port for your phone or for laptops, computers like PCs and stuff, you know, to have it as a backup. Granted, like a lot of times, like especially for myself, I lost out on that option because I didn't understand how they worked. I knew they were available, but I never really understood them, and I never took that step forward to learn more, or I would have been able to save the like even to this day I still don't know how to use one. I'm talking to you about it and I know about it and I'm giving you advice about it, but the closest thing I've gotten is using an SD card inside my phone, or like a USB plug-in port thing for a computer, but I still don't know how to like I just drag and drop. That's all I do. I don't know anything else. That's it. That's all on him. Jeff knows more about computers than I ever will. So he's more of a Linux guy. He does all that code stuff.
Oh yeah, open source.
Open source. So, but yeah, using those to be able to expand not only your ability to hold on to files, but also the space within your phone and your computer will be able to be freed up because you're either using a cloud service or have an external file. Water is always an issue on any electronics, so just be aware of that. So you don't want to like, you may or may not want to hook it to like your keychain, unless it has one of those cover things, maybe. I don't know. For the office work today, remember we're just light touch reviewing budgeting. So cash on hand, any kind of apps like Cash App, Venmo, Square, PayPal, any kind of bank accounts that you have, gift cards, savings accounts, you know, that are separate than your regular main bank account. any percent of interest that's being held back to you. Credit, always check your credit. Make sure that you're able to keep an eye on that. Mine personally dropped over 200 points overnight. Royally pissed me off.
That's like Wall Street.
Again, it was my fault. I did not take care of certain things before a certain cutoff time, so that's my fault. Make sure that you're keeping up with your loans. As far as those of you who are into LLCs and business aspects, make sure that you're looking into the benefits of that, especially if you're starting from negative or zero. And also look into having a will or trust made, or not will, a trust made instead of a will because of your business purposes. Now remember, if you are able to get your foot in the door in that aspect, you are able to write off every single aspect of your business, including personal home space, because we're looking at accounting purposes, any kind of equipment that you're using, travel purposes, gas sometimes, mileage. Your vehicle itself can be utilized as a business vehicle, as well as getting kickbacks from certain companies for utilizing your vehicle for advertising purposes. So we're looking at not just one aspect of what it's like to be an entrepreneur. We're looking at where are ways that we can nickel and dime back the system to you legally and in an ethical way. So this way you don't end up getting in trouble in the long term and losing out on all those opportunities in the first place. So, and that's what happens when you dive into something and you try to go, numbers first, as far as like financially trying to benefit yourself as much as possible up front. Yeah, it's going to work out. It's going to happen for you, but it's going to go away just as fast because of the fact that you don't have a solid foundation that you built it off of. So, and having a full view of your finances at all times, anybody will tell you, will help you be able to move forward and pivot and move through those financial situations. Especially if you're looking forward thinking as far as like putting into a sinking funds for future allocation for certain situations like emergency situations that pop up, right? You're not going to be able to cover all of them. That's a given, right? But at least you can give yourself a little bit more of a pillow to land on when certain situations come up. So, and especially as an entrepreneur, we're out in this ocean by our damn selves, okay? And a lot of us have no idea what the hell we're doing, so we are drowning in this shit. So, I know I have dove headfirst into this glass lake of entrepreneurship. And let me tell you, struggle is real. So, make that a hand sign now, right? I don't even know if that is a hand sign, but I'm just like trying to replicate a hashtag. So if that's what you're wondering what the hell that was, no, I do not have like any kind of like, well, I don't want to say I have any issues, but that's a lie. Anyway, so going back, like I said, ways to utilize money across platforms. Like I was saying, there's an opportunity for a cycle of business to happen within certain financial ways, at the very minimum 1% coming back to you. And I do mean at the very minimum, because if you have nothing coming back to you over a course of time, it is costing you more than anything. So you are already in the zero, and there is no benefit in zero. There's only benefits in one, right? As much as you can think about it in your little halo of thought, it doesn't matter if it's just a thought. It's what happens. What matters is what you do, right? So your zero then becomes a one because you created it. And you have to take accountability in that. Because if you don't, and you leave it to the ethers of, oh, I don't know, you're never going to move forward. You're never going to move forward. You're never going to heal. You're never going to be able to grow from any point if you don't. So, And it's really hard to do. It's hard for me to do. So I understand, like me saying this is so easy, right? It's a constant battle, and like, you have 365 days in a year, but how many seconds are in a day? How many milliseconds does it take to think of a thought process, to go through and overthink the thought process, right? It's milliseconds at that point. So they try to shake you at your core to where you don't believe in yourself anymore. And that's where they're wrong. Because if your baseline is solid, there's nothing that can shake it. And since you have no control over it anyways, ultimately, there's your solidification. You're walking on waters of life. For paid sites, remember, we're keeping an eye on the cycle of business. For paid sites, you want to make sure that the inbound and outbound are all working properly, especially, like I said, links, making sure that going back and double checking from a customer's point of view what it's like to experience you or your business or brand or whatever it is, right? Or whatever you're trying to portray into the world. Making, that's why we have mirrors, so that we can check ourselves out and make sure that what that the world is perceiving is what we're also understanding, which is also skewed, but for the most part, but yeah, just making sure that, we keep an eye on all aspects of it. Even if it's, like I said, like a light touch, looking at it once a week. Right now I have it only on Sundays because Sunday's my Monday. So making sure that going into the week that you have a full understanding of what you're starting with also gives you a push point to move forward. Something to stand on. Information is definitely the keys to building this legacy that you're going to be not just building for yourself, but for future generations. So, and for those of you who only want it in your generation, hopefully it brings you the most, right? Also, today is a good day for this week's transfer. Just remember, for most transfer sites, you're looking at 7 days anyways. So by the time that it hits from their transfer or from their facility, the transfer happens, and your facility acceptance, usually there's about 3 to 6 days that happens in between there, right? Depending on what kind of facilities that you're utilizing. There's also like little kind of fees that are involved with sometimes with transfers. Some banks offer certain different discounts or no fees. If you go outside of an ATM cycle, a group of whatever companies that you're working with, sometimes there's an additional fee on top of that for extraction. Usually ATM fees run between $2 to $5 or even $10 per transaction, depending on the amount of money that's being extracted. And then each ATM has a certain limit to financial extraction. So depending on where you go, say, for example, like a gas station ATM may allow more finances than a local ATM, like at a restaurant or something. I don't know. Also depends on, like I said, each ATM has a certain limit. Each ATM has their own fees. Same thing with the banks. Sometimes banks will have their own ATMs. For those of you who are utilizing apps for your finances, like Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Square, each one of those has a certain percentage. I think Cash App is like the lowest one though, and they offer rollover for your change, which I'm doing right now. So another option for utilizing funds is gift cards. This is not something that I really push because they are highly hackable. There is no like real security measures for gift cards right now. Uh, I guess because of the high turnover rate for the money transfer. I don't know. But as far as I know from personal experience, they're not safe. They're not safe. Unless you do a virtual gift card that goes directly to the user, and even then, there's still a chance. So, of it not working. Like, I don't know how many times I've ordered a Starbucks gift card from like a email, right? And the email never went through. And so I had to go back and get a refund and stuff, and it's a pain in the ass when you have to do that. So, but I used to give my kids their weekly allowance on gift cards, like Walmart gift card or something like that. So that way, if they wanted to go get something for themselves, that I knew that they were still able to use their money, but they could only use it at certain places. So it also cuts down on cash on hand, yes, but they also had cash on hand. So the places that I chose, like I said, were places that I knew for a fact that they were going to be able to utilize, like Walmart, like a local convenience, not convenient, superstore or whatever, or like a GameStop or something that they were interested in. Like my girls were always Starbucks girls. They, the boys were very much like GameStop or something like that. So, that's there. Also, another thing is like with collaborations, not only with content creation, but also local business wise, you want to collaborate with other businesses. You want to be able to collaborate with your local community. You don't want to just walk into a place and start streaming, because sometimes they may have like a privacy policy per company where you're not allowed to do that in their business, and you can actually get kicked out or arrested for that shit. So be aware of certain limitations. When you're doing the collaborations with other businesses and stuff, you could probably sell something on their behalf for a commission. We see a lot of that in TikTok now. I personally would lean more towards promoting your own business, but having that cross-networking capabilities will open other doors for you and for your business and for other ideas and concepts and stuff. So utilizing gift cards specifically from certain local businesses to offer as a part of your service could be an option as well. So trying to think outside the box, get a little bit more in depth with your community and with the people around you. It will also bring in more business for you as well, or more awareness to you. Get the name out there, get the word out there, so to speak, right? Now, negative always works more of a wildfire than positive ever will. And a lot of times, especially in business, we work in the negative a lot. So we come from negative a lot, and sometimes we stay in there, and the darkness is okay. It's just what's in it. So, being able to work from that negative space or from a zero standpoint of being new is always going to put you in the positive. As far as those who are opposing you, especially when you have the pure intention and you have the direct, you've taken all the steps that you need to take and you're still being met with negative feedback, that's where you need to pay attention to the most, okay? And that's the universe's way of saying, hey, look at me, kind of thing, right?
When you will break
So,
news live right here on Fox. I got some details as, again, you got on the air immediately.
light touch moment of my prayers for the world right now. May you all be blessed in ways that you never imagined when you least expected. Yeah. As far as like transfers and stuff, going back to the financial aspect of this for the paid sites, it gives you an approximation for week to week, right? Um, so on average, I look at it from 7 to 10 business days is usually the transfer rate at the max, unless, because you want to look at holidays too. A lot of times when there's a holiday, there's a delay in both sides of the transfer. So keeping that in mind, and no matter what industry you're in, whenever there's finances involved and there's multiple hands involved in it, a lot of times it takes a lot longer. Um, so being aware, like in the OOTDs in the Fashion Saturday of holidays moving forward, also ties into that. So that's another aspect of this with the planner, is that every single day has a light touch and something else that's happening somewhere else during the course of the week. And you want to have that continuous light touch, even if it's just for a few seconds. Just take a review. Okay, I understand where I'm at. It helps you to be able to move forward. Now, if there is information that's wrong, yeah, you're going to feel that setback. You're going to feel it more now because you're more aware of it. But now you have a pinpoint that you can refer back to work forward from. And you won't have to dig as far back. You'll be able to go back and say, okay, I make a mistake here, so I do this, and now I take this path going forward, and I'm back on the right track again. So it helps yourself, and it'll be able to help other people be able to pinpoint specifically for you too when your evolution changes happen, when you do the behind the scenes stuff. So, and then for those who didn't follow through the entire time, say, for example, for those of you who started watching me stream back when I first started, compared to now, you'll see a major change. You see, even in my social media, you see a major change that ends up happening. You get to watch my evolution in real time. And that's the point. Pick and choose what information that you can take with you on your own path, right? Your path is going to be different than mine. Even if I tell you all the right steps, even if I show you the way, you're still going to have your own path to take. You're still going to have your own destiny, your own goals and dreams and wants, right? You're still going to meet your own end. Yeah, it might be similar to mine. There might be pinpoint similarities, or it might be a real similar path, but there's going to be a difference between the two. And that's why I say to stay in your authenticity as much as possible, especially now coming into the AI clone, droid, robot, whatever you want to call it, going forward. Even if we do take our own DNA and create it on other planets, in that atmosphere will be different than that of Earth. So even if we were to clone our own DNA on another planet, yes, it's us, but it's not us. No two are the same. So, and there's not just one way. So try to, like I said, think outside the box and keep a mind on, while you're going down this DNA train of life, to pick and choose those little grapes and, pick up those like little tidbits of information along the way. I don't know why I said grapes specifically, but in my mind I was visualizing like grapevines and like you're plucking, picking, plucking, whatever, the grapes off the vine as you go. There's little bits of information. Maybe there might be a reference for grapes in there that you guys can look up. I don't know. Everything is a happy mistake. What was it that Bob Ross said? There are no mistakes in life. You know what I mean? There's happy accidents or whatever. This thing is really getting stuck on me. I need to cut this. Sharps warning. Don't do this at home, kids. There we go. Less string bullshit. Okay. Note to self. All of these sequins are going to fall off. Tired of the shit getting caught. Damn it. It's like stuck on it. Still. Pieces. Anyway. I'm not wearing this again. So, there's one of those outfits that you really love but you can't stand? Yeah. Anyway. Alright. So today's no gym day. but we're still keeping the less sugar, more water concept, even though it's a no gym day. More proteins, less carbs, more strength training, less cardio. Okay. For thrifting, personal, household, for sale, total spent or budgeting, and sinking funds. I'm still looking for a trickle hose and a splitter. I would like to have it on a timer too. That would be badass, but I ain't that technologically savvy. So there might be like one of those splitters that has a timer on it. That would be awesome. It's like a trickle system. Yeah. Hydroponics. What? So as far as supper, I have a lot of leftovers. So supper's leftovers. And salad, because I do have to pluck those from the garden, or else they're going to go to flour, and I don't want that. Clean up, I have to do dishes tonight because I told Jeff I was going to do them last night and I never did them. I'm a poor fucking procrastinator. That's my excuse. I'm going to run with it. So, I hate doing dishes. Fuck. Nightly routine. Typically today, I think today's Sunday, so yeah, it's a shave day. I'm actually looking at like DIY body scrubs and some other kinds of moisturizers for people who are over 40. Because once you get like between 35 and 40, your skin starts to change. At least for me, I know for a fact that after the wreck, my skin started changing immediately. I don't know if it was the excessive amount of antibiotics that I had to have in my body or if it was the amount of trauma that happened. Also, if you lose an organ, your body's capabilities change. So it starts to depend on other organs and other senses or other sources from systematic nerve endings, stuff like that. So your brain starts to rewire itself when you have organs removed or body parts removed or something like that, same concept. Or if you have senses that fail you, like for example, I have a low level ringing that happens in my ears. So when I'm in a quiet room, that's all I hear. So that's why I always say that silence screams. That's my reference, is that the memories and stuff like that will scream even in the silence. So you have to be able to face them head on, like the ringing in my ears, to be able to work with them and move forward. And the same thing with our thoughts and our memories and experiences, traumas, even if they're compound, you have permanent brain damage from that. So depending on the level of severity, some of it may be workable. And to be honest with you, some of it may never be workable. And that's a concept that a lot of people don't really want to think about, especially when you're trying to heal from it. Some compound post-traumatic stress disorders include excessive brain damage that is non-reversible at this moment in time. Now, as far as nanotechnology and everything that Elon Musk is doing with the memory cores, as far as like Neuralink and stuff like that, I don't know if we have those capabilities to fix certain brain areas, but I do know that they have the ability to erase specific memories, as well as record dreams. So we're already in the subconscious space at that point of once you're in the dream REM state and you're able to record from that. That's pretty exponential to me. I mean, we're pretty into the core at this point already. So, you okay? Are you bored? Are you bored? Did you have a good nap?
I didn't know because I closed my eyes and you got my attention. No, what are you doing?
Streaming?
Oh,
Do you want to do something?
just chill here.
Okay. I'm just walking through my calendar, that's all. at this point, because I've already shown the garden. So you want to play Scrabble?
I'm trying to get my brain to work. I was just reading up on some stuff. They said that people are going to die because they spray this stuff on controlling the fungus that's growing out of plants, and it's caused people to die because it was ruining the respiratory system.
Unfortunately, there's so many chemicals in the air right now,
That's it.
as well as in the food, the water, not to mention the non-natural products that are in everything also. And that's why I keep saying about like the matrix concept is that everything that was man-made is not natural. It's out of order. It's cubical. It's everything natural is circular. You think the Fibonacci sequence and stuff like that, everything is cyclical, including energy and frequency and stuff, sound, different aspects of, like molecules and stuff. I think I actually did say that already. Anyway, everything is circular. Whereas everything man-made, if you look at it, for the most part, everything man-made is squares. So I feel like everything that's man-made is not natural, and it's built on top of. So everything man-made, everything God universe made, right? Creator made, was circular. Everything man-made is square, or so square. And so we built this matrix, right? I think there's videos of this everywhere. Someone talking about this also, is that we built this matrix on top of nature, and it's killing nature. So everything that was made to heal us, this is how destructive of a species we are, is that everything that was meant to help heal us, help us grow, etc., we are actually purposefully destroying long-term, which cycles back to ourselves. So we destroy ourselves in a sense when we already have at this point by creating the son of man, so to speak, in our own image. That is a godlike behavior, right? So what happens when we create, right? We create a new path, and it's different from the original path. So our original creator path, supposedly, in most, I feel like, at least religious texts or spiritual texts, is that we were created of the earth, and that we are nature, or naturally we are of the earth, right? But because of the fact of the power of choice, that gift that we were all blessed with, right? We have chosen to destroy. Now, whether you want to take that back to Adam and Eve, or whatever you want to call it biblically, or whatever reference that you want to use religiously or spiritually, even if on a scientific term of the split of the atom between, the light split between life, right? So there's a choice that's made. There's a division that happens, right? So that dividing path is going to be an equal opposite. It's how all life is, right? So even if we, as one unit, create new, right? Even if it's just one unit, they have to have equal and opposite paths to both exist at the same time. Sometimes before the observer, you can have similar paths, right? But once the observer is involved, one or the other path has to die. And right now we are currently in the process of observing one of the paths dying. So it's our choice as creators of ourselves and creators of the world around us to make that decision moving forward, right? So hopefully you make the right choice. I forgot where I was going. I get on these really great like tangents and I don't even know where I'm going with them, and then I just drop off a cliff. So it's all good. Run with it, right? So when I say thinking outside the box of this supposed matrix of life, of human behavior, mannerisms, societal acceptance, or whatever you want to call it, that's where your life will grow. Okay? So if you're constantly getting fed information, you're not going to think outside of that, because that's already being fed to you. Your brain's already firing. It's already getting the tingles, right? You're already getting a source that you would have had to do by yourself before. So how are you going to utilize that moving forward? Are you going to be plugged in completely where the only information that you receive is going to be from somewhere else? Or are you going to have your own thought processes? And a lot of like I was saying, as far as the referencing for the movie The Matrix, was that there's a lot of innuendos and like references to other outside laying factors or concepts or belief systems that are involved in even the visuals and the behind the scenes of each one of those, specifically the first one. As well as, like I think the lady who created The Matrix said that Terminator was the prequel to The Matrix, and she explains it in an interview on YouTube. So y'all can go check that out. But that was super interesting too, especially with nowadays and certain times that we're like really, really close to those two specific movies. But yeah, so go check that out. But as far as what I'm saying, like the matrix of life, as far as being man-made, everything man-made legitimately comes back and fights its own cells. So that's why I keep leaning back to only eating things that are nature made or as close to living as possible. Our energy is an energy eater. Okay, our souls need that to survive, right? And I could be wrong. We could be able to absorb energy and nutrition and substance from the air around us. We just don't know how to do it because we haven't used that part of our brain yet, right? There's possibilities are endless. We could be water breathers and we don't even know it. We just haven't figured out how to do it yet. I do know for a fact that there is an oxygen-based liquid gel that they use for, I think, astronauts for deep space. So I don't know if there's availability for that for everyone, but we all began life breathing liquid and getting oxygen from a different part of our body. And once we were born, we evolved. That's why babies scream, because it hurts. It hurts to evolve from a water breather to an oxygen breather. Okay? And plus the amount of oxygen that now you're breathing in compared to what you were getting before through a little tube is like exponential, right? Like all of a sudden now pollution, allergies, now you're being exposed to all this stuff. So your complete environment change happens at birth. Okay? Your first evolution happens at birth. So yeah, you're going to be screaming. Everything's going to fucking hurt. You just got pushed through a hole that was like 10 inches. Not even. 10 centimeters. All of your bones got rearranged in that process. And they're not hard yet, officially. They don't harden until after you're born. So, at least certain parts of your body. So, I mean, like, especially like the soft spot on the top of your head. It's like the last forming piece to the rest of you. You know what I mean? So, and what is that? Spiritually speaking, that's your crown, right? So the final thing to grow on you is your crown. And throughout your entirety of your life, that is one of your weakest spots, is the top of your crown. So, and then beyond that is spiritual. It's enlightenment. It's frequency. It's energy, right? So, like I was saying, as far as having the halo, yeah, even though you have a halo, and even though you have thought, and even though you have your own abilities and concepts, you still have error. Even as a physical being, you still have error. And that's okay. We're created that way. And that's why I say that we're clones. We're not actually our own species. We're copies, and have been copies through generations, because our lifespan requires, for survival, evolution that happens at birth. So it's kind of a different concept to think about. And I know I'm kind of like picking and pulling different bits of information, but again, you have to think outside the box of the little matrix that they're giving you and feeding you all this information from, and start thinking for yourself. Start putting those pieces that they're giving you together in this little like matrix puzzle. Just pull the pieces, see what makes sense for you in your little map of life. And you can go from there, and you guys can share your maps with each other. Like, hello, this is the path that I took. What is yours like? You know what I mean? Like, okay, did that work for you? Hey, yeah, that worked for me too. Great. We'll tell everybody else about that. Maybe it'll work for them. It may not. Who knows? So. Yeah. I see. So. Maybe this will work for you guys. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Maybe what I say to you might be complete nonsense. Some of you might think I'm crazy. You're right. I am crazy. So I'll continue working on the calendar off stream and building out for this next week before I make the final printout. And Jeff and I'll go ahead and try to upload those pictures today if possible. I do know for a fact that once it starts getting closer to dusk, I'm going to work on the tomatoes and getting them tied up. Okay. Oh, as of today, that's the last day. So, like I said, when you enter the kingdom, there's different requirements. So each level, you'll have a revelation. You'll have an evolution that happens genetically as well as internally, mentally, then outwardly into your external world. So try to do that as best you can. Take a half a day at a time. Just keep breathing, even if it's just for the next second. And until I see you guys again, behave. 3 hours and 44 minutes. Wow. Have a good day.